Hi, this is April. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to explain how my desire to take a photo of this Diane Manning figurine on the beach almost cost me $1,000. So when I saw this little figurine on eBay, I fell in love with it. I thought she was so cute. And I thought, how much fun would it be to actually practice some portrait photography with this little figurine on the actual beach? When I tried to implement my idea for this photograph, the beach was so crowded. There was not maybe 5 feet of space to be able to have to yourself. It was in the 80s, which was really unusual for April in Michigan. But last weekend, it was the perfect weather. It was only in the 40s and there wasn't a soul on the beach at all. So I took my little figurine out and I thought this will be the perfect time because it does feel slightly awkward playing with a figurine on the beach and people not quite understanding what you're doing. I don't really care if people judge me for being awkward. I'm used to it. But it was so much better having the beach to myself to be able to compose the photo. I set little Edna up on a little mound of sand and I was crouching down, taking photos left and right. I was trying to get the sky and the lake just perfect in the background. I also took the opportunity on the empty beach to play with this Zhiyun Crane M3S. The last time I took it out on the super crowded beach, the motors were vibrating terribly because I hadn't balanced it quite perfectly and I hadn't gotten the knack of it. But on the beach, I was able to use the Crane M3S and get some really smooth footage, and I really felt comfortable because I was alone and I wasn't really embarrassed of people staring at me. Honestly, I don't think many people care what you're doing out there with your camera or your gimbal. Some people do ask questions though, and I'm a little bit more comfortable being on the beach all by myself to test things out when they're new to me. So anyway, I had a great time and I was able to get these photographs of Edna and I'm pretty pleased with the result. It was a really fun time practicing and I was able to figure out how to balance the gimbal and get some of this smooth walking footage. So it was all in all a great trip to the beach. And then I came across these Canadian geese who were doing these really graceful bowing movements towards the water. I had to get close and crouch down, and I was wrapping up a wonderful trip to the beach and headed towards a boardwalk when I noticed that my pocket that had my phone was suspiciously empty. Now granted, this is an iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's not the latest model and it's already been paid off. So I am due for an upgrade pretty soon, but I'm a bit of a cheapskate and I did not feel like paying for a new phone. And just the day before this trip to the beach, I had removed the protection plan to save $10 on my bill. So I really did want the phone back. So I retraced my steps all the way down the boardwalk. I figured I would have heard it fall out of my very deep pocket if it had fallen onto the pavement, so I figured it had to be on the beach. I went back and forth, all over, retracing my steps on the sand. Nothing. So my brother even tried to help me find the phone. He was there riding his bike, and he has really good vision, but he couldn't even find it. We went down the entire stretch, nothing. So later that night, I went on my iPad and tried to find my iPhone's location, and it showed it was still at the beach, and it showed it was on the sandy area. The next morning, my brother decided to get up at 6 a.m. and go over to the beach, and I stayed home with the iPad connected to Wi-Fi because I don't have cellular service on it, and I was able to send out a sound. And that was the only way he was able to find it. It was buried in the sand. Ringing it did not make a loud enough sound because of the waves, but that loud sound that it created, he was able to pinpoint it and found it buried partially. And the very moment he was returning to the parking lot with my phone, he saw the guy coming with the tractor to rake the sand. my phone would have been toast. He's a good brother. So the moral of the story is, if you're ever trying to take a photograph on a sandy beach and you think your phone is secure in your pocket, make sure that you have it on you before you leave the beach. Let me know if you think these photos were worth it. I had a great time, and even if I had to buy a new phone, it was well worth it. I just think these photos are so memorable. If you like this video, give it a like. Consider subscribing for more photography related content from a newbie like me. God bless.